Chelsie Lancaster fell victim to a human trafficker in an unimaginable way through a dating app. Watch this.
I grew up in a supportive, loving home, and I was a good kid. I made straight A's and didn't get into trouble, didn't do drugs or drink or, anything crazy. And so really, I think what a lot of people experience growing up. I had gone through a breakup that was really hard on me. And, in the process of trying to get over somebody, I started to try to put myself out there again and try to meet people, via online dating sites. I think emotionally I was in a vulnerable spot, but I think at the root of it for me was this need to be accepted. I met this guy, we hung out, and at the time I was trying to make money to go back to college and to pay off a loan that I owned before I could go back. He told me that I should work at a strip club and I could make a lot of money. And never having been in a strip club before, not really understanding that world, I thought, I could go back to school faster and I might as well. I thought he liked me. I thought that he was interested in me. Within a couple of days, they were putting me online to sell me. It probably didn't hit me until I was being sold online and not knowing who was going to show up at the door and who I was going to encounter, and being told, look for handcuffs and guns under the bed to make sure that that person doesn't, hurt you. That was the moment that I realized, wow, this is not at all. I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would be in this situation.
Chelsie, welcome. We hear that in a number of these cases. Regular kid, good kid, middle-class family, cheerleader. I don't think it fits with the profile of what we think when we think about what we thought were prostitutes in hotel rooms,
right,
being pimped out, right?
Right.
So he suggests to you that you strip. How does it transition to, oh no, it's going to be more than stripping?
It didn't happen in the strip club, but shortly after, when they started putting me online to sell me, and it was then that I realized, wow, I don't just go on dates with guys.
You saw that? You went online and saw yourself?
No, they would post ads, and so they would show me them every once in a while, but it was all very much choreographed. They pretty much, did everything. And so it wasn't until, I went on the first date, and they told me I just had to go on a date and nothing else. And I realized that wasn't the case.
How? How did you realize that?
The man expected money. Expected sex for money. And that's, it doesn't, like I think Rebecca said, that it doesn't quite hit you at the moment of what's happening, because it is very fast. And you're it's after the fact when you're, laying in bed at night and realizing oh my gosh, this is what's happening. Or it's after you leave.
To those who are out there saying, I get sucked into this situation, somebody says, we're going to have sex for money tonight, who say, I would be running for the door like that.
Right.
I would never go back to the motel room. I would,
Right.
What say you?
I would say the threat is so much bigger than what you're having to do. The fact that they knew exactly where my family lived. They had my Social Security card. They had everything that was valuable to me locked up in a storage unit. And the threats of what would happen if you leave. You really believe it, You really, the brainwashing and the coercion is so strong that you just comply out of fear.
How many men would you have to see in a day?
Usually about 5 to 10.
Wow.
So, and I was always told that if I, once I made $1,000, that I would be able to quit for the night. And it was never the case, because it was never enough. So, it was a lot of hopes and dreams that they throw at you, promising we're going to get you a condo and we're going to get you a Porsche and all of these things that I never had growing up, even though I grew up so well. It was
like, oh my gosh, I could actually be somebody. And the guy told me he was a music producer and I wanted to play music. And so that's kind of how I got reeled in, was just
and then
promises.
the emotional deterioration that would happen, the emotional damage.
Right.
It plays right into their control over you.
It does. And I think it even stems from, you know, like kids getting bullied in middle school. I was. And so I think even the groundwork for abuse is laid earlier in life. And so they have a lot of vulnerabilities to play off of, and they look for that.
How long did it go on?
The first guy was, I want to say about 4 or 5 months, and the second guy was...
Your trafficker, you mean?
Yes, trafficker, was about 2 or 3 months.
One passed the baton to the next?
I was actually able to leave my first trafficker. They had dropped me off at a strip club, and I called somebody to come pick me up, and I was able to get out that way. And then the second guy I had met on a online dating site as well, and we had been friends for you know, that 4 or 5 months before. And when he found out what I had been doing, he decided he was going to make money off of me as well.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.